All right, folks, we put together a 5-minute warm-up for you, quick and easy, get you ready for just about any generic activity. I'm going to go get changed. I'm just as cold as you are. We're going to get ready. We're going to do this warm-up together. I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to start out with some jumping jacks, just get some blood flowing into the entire body. And as always, be sure to work with the body that shows up today. So whatever form you're capable of, that's challenging and engaging, let's start there. Ready? Let's go.
So you'll likely notice we sped up the video a bit here for the sake of time. As I said before, work with the body that shows up. It doesn't matter how wide or how narrow your feet are. As long as you're challenging the body, you can go wide, or you can be very close together and just moving the body and getting the blood flowing here. We're going to move from these jumping jacks into some arm circles. So we're going to start with some small arm circles moving forward, about 10 of them. Disclaimer, I don't actually know how to count. And then we're going to go into 10 bigger arm circles moving forward. When we finish that, we'll get 5 nice, huge ones going. And then we'll go in reverse, and we'll start small. And a little bit bigger. And we'll get huge one more time. Moving on, we're going to do some leg swings. So very important here, we want to try and get stable with our tripod. So heel, base of the big toe, base of the little toe, solid on the planted foot. You can see my foot wobbling around a little bit there. I'm moving a little bit too quickly through this warm-up, and then we're going to go side to side. So I'm moving my arms around, I'm swinging. Do what feels comfortable for you, hands on the hips, twerking the body, side to side, whatever feels right for you in terms of the movement. We do want to try and avoid kind of a hip hike side crunch as much as possible with the lateral movements. We want to try and get some activation in the lateral and medial hips, so the adductors and the abductors. You can see here I get quite a bit of that hip hike. We want to try and keep it controlled to the hip as much as possible. Right there. From there, we're going to move into some adductor openers. So we want to be strong through the long leg, and then that bent leg is going to stay as fixed as possible. May take a little bit to get used to. And again, we're moving fast here. But we want all of that power to come through the long leg and pull you back to midline, and then you plant back down, pull to midline. Do about 10 reps on each side for this. We'll switch over to the other side. Long leg pulls, and then the other leg stays relatively fixed. You can see I'm pushing a bit, but we want to minimize that as much as possible and really get those adductors, the inner thigh muscles, firing up. Should be getting nice and warm by now. We're going to get into some froggy. So we want to get into a deeper bodyweight squat and then grab the ankles or shins or where you can for your body and your mobility. And then you're going to lift the hips up toward the ceiling. So we're going to get into some pretty significant flexion. We're going to be stretching the hamstrings. We're going to be working the quads. Try and hold on to those ankles or shins the best that you can. We're going to go 10 reps here to really open up through the hips and the low back. From there, we're going to move into some thoracic windmills. And the goal here is rotation. So we're not trying to get down as far as we can. We're trying to turn our trunk as far as we can here. So you could be very shallow with that movement as long as you're getting as much rotation as you can. And I like in this position to as I bring the feet out wide, to try and point the toes in just a little bit, increase a little bit of stretch in the hamstrings. But again, the focus is rotation of the trunk, and 10 reps on each side here. And then from here, we're going to move into some monster walks. We're going to do a little bit of a plus sign. If you've worked with me before, you know that I love to do the forward and back and then the side to side. But for the sake of time, we're going to do back to back. So forward and then back and then side to side and then forward and then back and then side to side. And we're going to do 10 reps of each of these. If you are like me and you would prefer to do all of one and then the other, you can go 10 steps forward, 10 steps back, 10 steps left, 10 steps right. And we want to stay in this half squat engaged position. I'm getting a little bit high here. We want to try and keep those hips a little bit lower, but we do want to make sure we've got that neutral spine. You can see there's not a whole lot of rounding in my spine there.
So there you have it. That's our quick-ish, 5-ish minute warm-up.